Good morning, boys and girls, or afternoon, depending on what time you're watching this video. Today's lesson is subtracting a fraction from a whole number. So let's get started with today's lesson. Now remember, the expectation here is that you are writing these problems and working them with me. This is an interactive lesson, okay? We're not just going to sit and listen. We need to be working these problems out. And really the best thing for you to do at this point, because this is how math instruction is going to continue from now on, is that you have some kind of pad of paper or notebook or journal that is dedicated to math. Just like in math class, how we have a math journal, that's what I'm talking about, so that you can refer back and look at things that we've done in previous days, and then every day you can add to it. Okay? So, yesterday we learned how to turn a whole number into a fraction. And today that's going to be important because we are subtracting a fraction from a whole number. But in order to subtract the fraction from the whole number, the first thing we need to do is turn that whole number into a fraction. Okay? So what's the first thing we need to do? Yep, we need to turn the whole number into a fraction. What's the first thing we need to do? Turn the whole number into a fraction. Okay, so for the first problem, I'm going to review how to do that. Okay, so we're working with 4 wholes on number 1. And those wholes are going to be put into 3 parts. And we know that because our denominator on our fraction is 3. Okay, so we're going to start out with I'm going to draw that was terrible, but we're just going to go with it. Okay, that rectangle is supposed to be in 3 pieces. All right, and how many of these rectangles do I need? 4 of them, because 4 is our whole number. Okay, there we go. There's our 4 wholes, and each one is in 3 pieces. So what do those 4 wholes equal? How many thirds? Let's count thirds. 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, 4/3, 5/3, 6/3, 7/3, 8/3, 9/3, 10/3, 11/3, 12/3. So altogether we have 12 thirds. And remember, the easier way to think about this is, you know, you're working with groups of 3. So look at your whole number. What is 4 groups of 3? 4 times 3 is 12. That's how we got 12 thirds, because we don't want to have to draw this picture all the time. It's not efficient. Okay, so 12 thirds. Now we can go ahead and subtract our 1/3. And now it's super easy. Okay, so now we have 12 thirds minus 1/3, and I'm sure everyone knows the answer to that. What is it? It's 11 thirds. Good job. Okay? All right, so let's look at number 2. Number 2 says 5 minus 2/3. So remember, we have to take this 5 and we have to turn it into a fraction. We're working with thirds, okay? Just like up here, we were working with thirds, okay? So what is 5 groups of 3, okay? Our rectangle would be in 3 pieces, and we would have 5 of them. That would be 15 thirds. And we can take away 2 thirds. And what does that equal? Say it out loud, say it out loud, say it out loud. to yourself, it's going to equal 13 thirds. Okay? All right, I'm going to do one more with you, and then I want you to do the last 3 on your own, and then be prepared to share your answers and ask me any questions when we have our class meeting. Okay, so we've got 7 minus 3/8. And we're working with eighths. That means that if we do a rectangle, it would have 8 pieces. And we've got 7 of them. Okay, so really we have 7 groups of 8. 7 groups of 8. 7 groups of 8. I'm waiting so you can say it out loud to yourself, or say it to your dog or your cat or who's ever with you. Say it. 7 times 8. So that means we have 56. Then we can just put the numerator underneath of it, 56/8. And we're going to take away 3/8. And that's going to give us, again, say it to your cat, say it to your dog, say it to your little sister, say it to your mom, your dad. It is 53/8. Okay? All right. Do the next 3 on your own and be prepared to talk about them at our meeting.